Alright, time for Nelo. So I'm actually going to have to back out a couple times, probably switch back and forth, and later on, there's one talk topic that unlocks for her. It's found in the Tyrone residential district area near Nade's purification site, but that'll be unlocked for Eon and Earthis. I'll just grab that off camera once it unlocks. So I want to eat home cooking. By the way, you have your own shop, right, Delta? Yeah, well, I had one. Past tense is more accurate. Just Nade's completely taking it over now. That's too bad. I want to try eating something you cooked. Really? What? Are you interested in the food I cook? I can make my special dish, Delta style chazen, for you anytime. Chazen is fried rice with lots of meat in it, right? I actually don't like meat that much. Hey now, if you're picky about food, you won't grow big. By the way, what do you normally do about your meals? You don't seem like the cooking type. I'm always going out to eat. You're a girl. Don't you think it would be best if you could cook at least a little? But I don't really have anywhere to cook in this world. Oh, now that you mention it. Does that mean you actually cook back in your own world? No, I still go out to eat. So you really don't cook for yourself at all. Alright, trauma for Delta. Why are you sighing? Are you worried about something? I don't know if this is a worry. I just remembered a bad thing happening when I went on the Charles Road a while back. Is that when you made Beyond Soul and Earth this fall? So you knew. Yes, in my world it became a major trauma for Delta. You get gloomy every time you thought about it. Do you feel the same way? Pretty much. Back then I never thought this would happen, but Eon and Earthis are both really important friends now. Doing such a terrible thing to them really is traumatic. They were both safe and you apologized about it. You don't need to worry. Eon Soul and Earthis forgave you, right? I don't think this is something you can just be forgiven for. You're a pretty difficult person. Oh, sorry. No, I actually really like that part of you, Delta. Huh? I could even say I love it. Really? Well, I don't feel bad hearing that, but I also like how you get embarrassed so easily. I don't really know what to think of that. Alright, I want you to guide me. That reminds me, I still don't really know where everything is in Quanturv. You live in Philion. It's not strange that you wouldn't know every detail about Quanturv. Also, that's the city where the Numerite Church is based. Yeah, I know that much. I don't see where you're trying to go with this topic. I want you to tell me if you know about any fun places in Quanturv. Delta, calm down and listen to me. Even if such a place exists in Quanturv, do you think I'd go? I don't really know your interests, Nelo. Why would it be weird if you went? Try asking Cassie or Sarley. They'd probably give you a strange look. Well, why would you tell me to ask them if you know they just do that? And you really don't know anything. You're a girl, Nelo. I'm sure you know of at least one or two places. You say that. What kind of places would you consider fun anyway? To put it simply, interesting places. That's too simple. I still don't understand. Then why do you have any do you have any recommendations? You're working with Zill. You know the area pretty well, right? I don't really know. Isn't there at least one place? Come on, help me out here. On the way to the Gunarm Cathedral, there's a shop that sells vacuum tubes. If you tell the owner a certain password, he'll show you the secret menu. Vacuum tube shop has a secret menu? That does sound interesting. Even if it was just vacuum tube flavor, vacuum tube juice in a vacuum tube container? Wait a second. What exactly is vacuum tube flavor? It's a flavor of juice based on the image of vacuum tubes. Apparently the menu was created just to amuse regular customers, but it's selling unexpectedly well. I definitely don't want to drink that. Doesn't sound good at all. That's not true. It's sweet and sour and really delicious. Then maybe I'll try it out. Wait, you had it before? Alright, level 4 unlocked. Nelo's favorite one. By the way, do they have that in this time period? What's that? Banana Paste Milfoil Cranberry Sauce Plus. Oh, you mean Banamil. It's not Banamil. It's Banana Paste Milfoil Cranberry Sauce Plus. No, it's Banamil. That's the name it's sold as. That might be the trade name, but its official name is Banana Paste Milfoil Cranberry Sauce Plus. I am getting... If it's any longer, would we have to shorten it to an acronym like Helping Children Through Research and Development? God, hope not. I don't call things that I like by abbreviations. I call them by their official names. Yeah, kind of a troublesome personality. Anyway, yes, they have Banamil now. You can get it at a cannon shop. I see. And maybe I should pay her a little visit later. And you like Banamil, Nelo? That's a little unexpected. Really? I think anyone would enjoy sweet foods. The menu at that cafe is especially delicious and reasonably priced, so I really like it. Calf? That wasn't a typo? It's the calf cannon that runs right next to the Chuchuya. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? There's no calf next door to Chuchuya. No, it's a repeated typo. It can't. For whatever reason, the text couldn't support the asterisk. So it is cafe. What? Oh, right. It hasn't opened yet in this time period. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Could you forget what I just said? That was too shocking. There's no way I could forget. What? You think it opened... Yep, it opened one of them on level 4. You want to go home that bad? Hey, I'm asking you because you're like this now, but how badly does the Nelo of this time period want to go home? What do you mean? I'm just wondering if she really wants to go home so badly she'd destroy our world to do it. Delta, do you like your own world? What are you saying? I'm asking if you like the world you were born into. This world where you were born and grew up in, with Cassie and many other people who are important to you. Of course I like it. That's why I'm asking. It shouldn't be that bad compared to the world you used to live in, right? Besides, it seems like Cass really cares about you, even now. I think of Cassie as an important friend as well. It's also true that I don't dislike this world, right? And you should just live in this world. That's a different story. Let me ask you this. If you were suddenly abducted and brought to a world you don't know, what would you think? Wouldn't it be normal for a person to want to return where they belong? Oh yeah, that's right, but would you be okay if you were forced to go to a world without Cassie in it? Would you forget about Cassie just because you were abducted and told to give up as there's no way to return? Of course not! Even if they told you their world isn't so bad and there's plenty of people who'd be your friends, it wouldn't be okay at all. Whoever did that sounds way too selfish. Indeed. You think about doing anything to return to your own world, right? I doubt there's anyone who wouldn't think about that. Right, and that's why I think that way too. Oh. It's true that there are people who I cherish in this world. However, that doesn't mean I'd be okay with not returning to my own world. But the people who brought you to this world are long gone, right? Why would people like us have to become victims? We had nothing to do with it. So you're saying that rather than a large number of people becoming victims, it's better for me to be the victim? That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? I'll listen, so explain it properly. That's, oh. You don't have to answer. I didn't have such expectations from the start. Besides, no matter how long we talk about the subject, I doubt we can reach a mutually agreeable conclusion. However, I'm grateful that you aren't trying to force me to give up without thinking about how I feel. To tell the truth, I'd be really happy if you gave up. But when I think about being in your shoes, I can't just tell you to do that. Although that doesn't mean I'll just sit by and watch while you do as you please. Yes, I think that's best. If you keep that way of thinking, both you and myself will find a happy conclusion eventually. Nelo's favorite too. By the way, has Starly created Craze Pudding yet? I didn't think I'd hear this name Craze Pudding come from your mouth. Did something embarrassing happen to you because of it? No, I just genuinely like it. Apparently it's not very popular because it makes you lose your sense of reason, but its flavor is good, right? Well, the flavor is pretty good, but losing your sense of reason is a little. Is reason really something that's lost so easily? What do you mean? I've eaten Craze Pudding many times already, but I've never lost my sense of reason before. Although when I had it with Cassie, she lost her senses and went crazy over you. I didn't even need to ask what happened to me after the effect wore off. But why doesn't it affect you? According to Starly, Craze Pudding causes one to lose their senses in order to relieve stress. However, in my peaceful world, every day is really fun for me. She said the effects don't appear because I don't have any stress that needs relieving. Are you serious? I didn't think a person without any stress existed. Well, I'm right here in front of you. Anyway, that's why I'm able to eat such delicious pudding without any worries. I see. I'm actually a little envious. Maybe I should aim for living a stress-free life after we find peace. Yes, I think that would be best. Then you can eat Craze Pudding without any worries as well. I'm not setting a goal like that just eat pudding, you know. Okay, so that other one in level 4 may unlock after further conversation or when talking with Earthez. Reason for disuse. By the way, do you know about something called a weakness sign? Weakness sign? Never heard of it. It's an accessory like a sign where the Charlotte put on their heads long ago. Oh, that. So that accessory was called a weakness sign? I've never heard the name before. And what about it? Well, I don't know personally, but I heard that this accessory was super popular among the Charlotte a long time ago. But I don't get why it went out of fashion. I thought you might know some details, so I asked. I might know. You do realize I'm not a Charlotte specialist, right? But thinking back, some crazy things happened just before those weakness signs started disappearing from sight. What happened? Everyone has different things written on their weakness sign, right? Yeah, I heard they wrote things like opinions and assertions they can't talk about. Yes, their words had meanings like that. More importantly, tell me about what happened before the signs disappeared. Okay, well, it wasn't that big of a deal, but some of them started writing ridiculously long messages. Ridiculously long? Yes, at first it was just a word or two, or simple phrases, but they gradually got longer and longer. By the end, they wrote so much in tiny print, you'd have to look really close to even read it. I realize I had a lot to say, but nobody else would be able to read it if they did that, right? Exactly. In the end, some of the text was so small you couldn't read it even if you stood right up against it. I see. I think I understand a little why the weakness fell out of fashion. And I went to RCL. It looks like you visited RCL. How was it? Were you moved? Yeah, it was seriously awesome. There was a sky and clouds and wind and really clean air. How can I explain it? It was a place where I felt excited and refreshed even just standing around doing nothing. I see. Did you understand that? This might be weird for me to say, but I didn't explain it well, did I? And to be honest, I didn't understand your explanation at all. But seeing your excitement, I know it was a planet that really was like an ideal paradise. Yeah, it seriously was paradise. When I first saw Honokano, I thought it was paradise, but it didn't even compare to RCL. I really want to build a little house in a place like that. Live a happy and quiet life. What's wrong? No, it's nothing. The only thing I can say is if you make this world peaceful, that dream will come true. Huh? Does that mean when this world finds peaceful, the rest is a secret? But make sure you don't forget about that dream when things get peaceful around here. Alright, turned out okay. By the way, it seems like you went to RCL, but they refused to let you migrate there. Yeah, pretty much. That was rough. We went to RCL prepared to throw away our lives, yet they still refused us. I understand that feeling, but you don't seem to be too sad despite that. Probably because there's someone who came from a peaceful future right in front of my eyes. It was shocking when they refused us, but I feel like things will work out because of this. Is that a good thing? My presence here seems to be removing your sense of tension and urgency. I can't deny that, but I don't know exactly how our world will find peace, so it's still pretty tense going through every day. To be honest, I guess we'd get to live in peace by migrating to RCL. It looks like it was a good choice for me not to talk too much about the future. I guess so, but I'll probably continue to ask you things. Try to keep spoilers to a minimum. Alright, level 6 is unlocked. We got one more in there. So, endless interest. By the way, you went on a date with Cassie, right? You knew? Yes, although the me in this world still doesn't know. Someone told me after we all managed to make amends. Who told you? I can't say. I was told only after promising not to name them. Well, I can pretty much guess who would open their mouth about that. Anyway, what about it? I'm curious what kinds of things you did, so I want you to tell me. What? What kinds of things we did? Is that something you should normally ask? But I've never gone on a date before. I don't even know what kinds of things you would do. I'm not a child anymore. It wouldn't be strange if I went on a date someday, right? That's why I wanted to ask you as a reference as someone who actually went on a date before. Well, I understand you have good reason for asking, but I think I'm the wrong person to ask. That was the first time I went on a date, after all. You've got a lot of more experience than me, seeing how I've never gone on one. That's why I want you to tell me. What kind of date did you have with Cassie? Well, let's see. We went around a lot of places and talked about a lot. What kinds of places? Memorable places and places with nice views? Now that I think about it, everywhere was a good place we could get in. Everywhere was a place we could get into a good mood together. I see. Very helpful. What did you do after that? All we did was go around to places like that and then went to an inn and... went to an inn? What? I don't remember. I must have been tired and fell asleep. I see. Well, you were walking around all day. It's only natural to be tired and fall asleep. That's right. Yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, that was our date. Did it help relieve your anxiety? Yeah, I heard plenty. Just checking out one last thing, but this is embarrassing. Give me a break. Alright, yeah, that was the last level 5. Level 6, coexistence with the Sharl. I never thought humans and Sharl would start getting along. That reminds me, you haven't seen what happened while you were in RCL, have you? I heard you were even eaten by the maternal overseer. You make it sound like I got chewed up. I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, I doubt you'd like being absorbed by that thing anyway. Back on topic, the Sharl getting along in your future too? Of course, they get along so well this time period doesn't even compare. Are the number of Sharl and human couples increasing or something? Sharl are going to the same schools as human children. Seriously? Wait, the Sharl normally go to school? No, they don't have any need to go to school, but they just want to do fun things. It doesn't matter what it is. They didn't have much perspective of human society before, so it's fun for them to experience now. I see. Are there Sharl doing things other than going to school? Yes, there's some Sharl who run shops. So the Sharl like the Tory is starting to appear. Humans can't lose to them. This isn't a matter of winning and losing. You need to think about coexisting. If you don't, the time could come once again where humans and Sharl fight. Right. Anyway, I guess I'll work hard to make that future come a little sooner. That's the spirit, Delta. Everything will be finished soon, so don't start slacking now. Alright, get along. Delta, are you talking with Cassie enough too? Why would you ask that? Because you're talking with me this much. Just putting this out there, but I'm really happy about it. I get to talk about all kinds of things with you. But if you're not paying Cassie any attention because of me, it wouldn't feel right. I don't want to see Cassie sad. Cassie's really important to you, isn't she? I don't need to tell you that after all this time. You and Cassie are both very important friends to me. That's why I want you two to get along even better. You're childhood friends and partners and lovers. Wait a second, we aren't really lovers. What? Are you married already? Stop jumping to conclusions. We haven't even become lovers yet. But you both like each other, right? Well, yeah, that's good. Then you really are lovers. I don't really know if Cassie feels the same way. Cassie already decided long ago she would marry you. That's why she worked so hard for your sake, I suppose. Oh, can you stop this already? I'm so embarrassed I feel like my face is on fire. Okay, I know for sure that now that you really treasure Cassie, so I'll stop. Make sure you talk to Cassie a lot with Cassie from now on too. Yeah, of course. Okay, but I won't stop talking with you like this either. Huh? Why do you look so surprised? Shouldn't that be obvious? You're an important friend to Cass and myself too. Besides, you'll probably return to the future eventually, so we should enjoy talking as much as we can until then. Okay, thank you, Delta. I didn't realize this before because we're fighting, but you're actually pretty cute now. Are you trying to cheat? I'll tell Cassie about this, you know. That's a misunderstanding. Stop, please. Stop, please. Something like that. Alright, level 7 unlocked. The size is... What's wrong? Worried about something? Yeah, but I think there's much use telling you about it. What? That's pretty rude. I asked out of concern. You don't have to say it like that. But it really is something you can't do anything about. Still, you could at least talk about it. Maybe I can give you advice. It's easier to solve a problem with two people thinking about it than one. Well, if you insist, I'll tell you. Alright, I'm all ears. I'm going to ask this bluntly, but what can you do to enlarge breasts? What's your enlarge breasts? Wait, what did you say? I'm asking how you can enlarge breasts. I don't need to go to the level of Zill, but I want mine to be about as large as the Onisol's at least. But as you can see, my breasts aren't very large now, are they? If I told her she's super flat, that would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess. They aren't big. Don't you think it would be more accurate to even say I don't have any, rather than say they're small? I can't just tell her she's right, can I? Well, it might be exaggerating to say you don't have any. Does it look like I have them to you? Sorry, you don't. Right? But why are you thinking about this all of a sudden? Because I saw a large brassiere among the items you carry around, although it seemed to be made out of some sort of food. Oh, that's a dietary fiber bra. I guess that thing really does require you to have pretty big ones to wear it. Right, and when I thought about that, I got a little concerned about my breasts. I see. Well, this really does sound like something a man can't solve. This is something you should talk about between girls. Although, I think the only person you could talk to would be Eon. Yeah, Cassie, Sarly, and Nay are lacking in breasts just like me, so I doubt there would be much point. One piece of advice I can give you is, don't ever say that in front of those three, ever. You would not survive, no. Don't worry too much about it. Your second homeland? Hey, is this peaceful world you talk about a new planet created using the heart of the planet? I can't tell you that. Exactly what kind of peaceful world I came from is something you'll just have to see for yourself after your hard efforts now. I see. Just asking, but is there something you're concerned about? I was just wondering what would happen to the Soleil if our planet was revived. This is the place most people in this era were born and grew up in. I can't remember it right now, but I used to live on Rossiella, right? But since Rossiella's gone, we all moved on to the Soleil. I think losing the place you live on a second time would just be really sad. Now that you mention it, that's right. For you, you'd be losing the land you call home a second time. Yeah, that's why I don't want the Soleil to just turn into space junk when the new planet is created. Well, it's fine. I don't know what will happen, but I'll see it for myself soon enough. I'll just try to look forward to it. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you about this. It's fine, no worries. Regardless of what happens, creating a peaceful world is something I should be happy about. Alright, level 6 complete. Alright, looking forward to the future. By the way, Nello, are there any men you're interested in? What are you asking all of a sudden? You asked about the date Cass and I went on before, right? I was just wondering if there's someone you're interested in because of that. I can't say there's none. Oh, really? Yes, but I'm not even thinking about confessing to them. They probably don't feel the same way. I have plenty of fun with them as things are now, so it's a one-sided love. Close, but that's a little wrong. Yes, I feel affection for them, but it's not exactly romantic feelings. Kind of complicated. I say you can think of them as someone I look up to or adore, like how you'd adore an older girl who lives next door when you're a kid. Yeah, that might be close. I see, but even you have someone you feel that way about in the future, huh? What kind of person could they be? Guess you can't tell me, right? I can't say who it is, but I can tell you about them. In the future, I'm living together with a certain married couple. They're really close. Even their fights are something that make me smile. Sounds like a super soppy couple. I think they're far beyond super soppy. Anyway, the person I adore is the husband of that couple. He's thoughtful and kind and handsome and loves his wife more than anyone else. He's really attractive. Well, sometimes he'll look at good-looking girls and get beat by his wife, though. Sounds like the perfect husband, with the exception of a few loose screws. But that sounds painful. The person you love is a married man. That's not true. I like the husband, yes, but I also really like the wife. I get to live with two people I love. I'm more than happy with that. I'm content from the bottom of my heart. Sounds like you're serious about that. Yes, I really am. Although, I get to talk like this, so I'm more than satisfied. Huh? What's that mean? You'll see in the future. It's you, Delta! Okay. Endless possibilities. Delta, what kind of peaceful future are you hoping for? Well, let's see. We need to do something about the maternal overseer and migrate to a new planet first, right? I'll make amends with you, Nello, and create a world where we can live along with Cass and Prim, too. I see. But why do you ask? Isn't the peaceful future you talk about a place like that? It's true that I made amends with you, and I live happily in a peaceful world along with you all, but what? Delta, please make that peaceful future a reality. You need to. I want you to make a future that's even better than the one I came from. I think the future you're looking for really is the most peaceful and happy one of all. If even one thing is missing from that future you talked about, it won't truly be peaceful or happy. Are you saying something's missing from the future you came from? Just leave it to me, Nello. I'll definitely work for that peaceful future I'm hoping for. The best possible future where nothing's missing. Okay. I pray that you'll find a truly happy future. Something that couldn't happen in my world. Ironically, it's fighting the final boss with Eon that provides that. Okay, yep. Friends Forever. We should get that. Actually, yeah, we do have all the ones for Delta. We're missing 4-3, but it should unlock either after this or talking to her with Earthez. Okay, Friends Forever. Delta, do you love Cassie? What's with this all of a sudden? Why are you so surprised? I'm just asking if you love Cassie. It would be normal to be surprised if someone asked a question like that. Besides, you ask if I love her, but I'm too embarrassed to answer. I love you, Delta. What? You and Cassie and Sarly and Nay and the Nelo'city and Earth says, I love everyone. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I can say that with total confidence. I don't feel embarrassed about it, and I'm proud that I can say that. Huh. Delta, do you love Cassie? Yeah, of course I do. I love her so much I can't even think of other girls. What? I'm just getting a little embarrassed hearing another person confess like this. You said you weren't, and you're proud of it a second ago. Saying and hearing are two different things. I was hearing it this time. Well, whatever. Just like you said, I feel really proud after actually saying it aloud. Yep, it was embarrassing hearing you confess like that, but you were really cool. Why did you ask this all of a sudden? It's almost time. I just want to check if you really do love Cassie at this point in time. And I wanted to make sure you get along from now on, too. Don't worry about that. Like I said, I can't even think of girls besides Cass. Delta, you completely opened up, haven't you? Yeah, if I open up this much, I don't feel embarrassed at all. Oh, you said it's almost time earlier. What's that mean? It means it's almost time for me to return to my own time period. Wait, are you serious? I am. Also, if I don't return soon, Cassie and everyone in my world will start to get worried. Let's see. It'll get a little lonely around here. I feel the same way. But I exist in this time period, too. That's why I want you to talk to me and make amends. And just like now, I want you to welcome me as a friend. You don't even have to tell me. We haven't made up with Nelo this time period yet, but the Nelo in front of me is an important friend. I'm a man who listens to his friends, so don't worry. Thanks. I'll never forget the time we spent together here. Okay, so yep. I keep getting taken off guard with the way it suddenly fades out rather than seeing the, you've seen all the events here messages. Anyhow, okay, so once we see What's Your World Like 1, I need to run back to the residential district and pick up... actually, no, I'm wrong. It's What's Your World Like 2. The one we pick up in the residential district is number 3. So I'll grab that after this, but I'll just cut right ahead to once we finish the one with Delta. That should unlock after talking to her as Earth is. Because we did unlock a few more with her after talking to her as Delta, so we just jumped back and forth a couple times. So What's Your World Like 1? What do you think about this world? I think it's pretty fun. Don't you only think it's fun because you're able to look at it through a screen? But the people actually living here is full of problems and hardship. What about your world? Is it an environment of hardship and desperation like this one? Well, it's peaceful enough, but I'd like to hear more. I see. Well, I don't think that way of thinking is strange. Back when I was living in my own world, I didn't really like it either. Along with life in that world came the problems of that world, after all. But I believe that everyone deep down loves their own world. Although they might not realize it until they're taken away by force by people of another world. Anyway, I'm relieved to know your world is more peaceful than this one, at least. You were worried? Of course. If I told you I came from a world where I reconciled with everyone, it became peaceful, right? You were one of my friends, too. Of course I'd be worried for you. Delta's trauma. By the way, it seems like Delta's really concerned about what they did to you in Nelo'city. I doubt you've forgotten, but there was an incident where they made you fall off the Charlotte Road, right? Seems like he's been traumatized by that. Well, not... I forgot to make him grovel for that. Not that big of a deal. I thought you'd say that. Anyway, he seems really depressed about it. If you have a chance to talk to him, you should forgive him. If you tell him not to worry about it yourself, I'm sure it would help relieve Delta's trauma. Well, I'll tell him if I have a chance. You really are kind. I'm not sure what kind of person is on the other side of Earth is, but I really like that kindness. So, pain even Nelo understands. By the way, it seems Sarly made a ridiculously embarrassing cathode. I only caught a quick glimpse of it, but it really made me question her. You mean the super painful cathode? Yes, I believe that was the name. It's something she made, so I highly doubt it has low performance, or that it's not useful, but still, that design is just too terrible. I doubt anyone would want to use it. It's not like you want to use it either, right? Well, that's good performance, but yeah, I think that's a normal way to look at it. If I have a chance to talk to Sarly, I'll tell her to study proper designs a little more. If I have a chance, that is. It's super moe, how could I not like it? Well, Shirotaka is not moe, so I can't say that. So is this interesting? I know I'm the one who asked you to, so this might sound a little weird, but do you enjoy talking to me? Unlike Nelo'city or Cassie, I can't really make fun conversation while we're alone together like this. Also, all you're able to do is provide answers once in a while. I'm a pretty boring talk partner, aren't I? No, you're doing fine. I see. I feel a little better after hearing that. To be honest, compared to the me in this time period, I should be able to hold a decent conversation. But I hadn't had a normal conversation for such a long time. I still feel a little uneasy. Well, you're cute when you're unconfident. Really? To be honest, I don't understand exactly what's cute about a person who lacks self-confidence, but it doesn't feel bad to be called cute. I guess I should just be happy, yeah? I haven't meowed in a while. So, gossip. By the way, I heard that there's a medicine shop run by Charlotte in Honokano. I only heard about it through rumors, but is it true you're going there frequently? There's rumor of that? It would be strange if it didn't become one. Just think about it. There's no other girls around who walk around with a robot like you, right? I think it would be weird if it didn't turn into gossip. Just so you know, I've heard a lot more rumors about you than this one. You stand out too much. There's no way you can move about in secret. Maybe there's a way? If you were about the same size as a normal human, you might be able to do something about it. You could wear a cloak and hood and hide your body from head to toe. Maybe miniaturization? Or would that decrease your performance? There's the option of attaching magnetics to reduce your body size, but I wonder if Gunarm could do that. Unfortunately, it seems impossible. The real issue is that you're made out of too many bulky parts. Well, anyway, you should try to avoid walking around in the open. You wouldn't want to put Gunarm in any danger, right? Yep, I'd protect her. I'm telling you, those kinds of actions stand out too much. Whatever. Doesn't sound like you understand. Just do what you want. Oh, well, that's the wrong answer, but I'll still protect Gunarm. So, Nelo's fixation. Come to think of it, I bought some strange rice cakes recently. Normally when you cook rice cakes, they expand, right? You know, the top kind of balloons out. But no matter how much I cooked them, they just end up burned without expanding one bit. Did I buy a defective product? Do you know the name? What was it called again? I think it had a very strange name. Oh right, jealous rice cakes. I bought them because the name was interesting. Did I make a mistake? Rice cakes really are supposed to expand. You cook them thoroughly, but you don't take them off the grill just because they expanded. You wait until they shrink a bit, and quickly put them on your plate. Put some soy sauce or salt in the split. That's how to eat rice cakes properly. But if they never expand, it just doesn't work. Were those rice cakes really defective? Have you ever felt jealous, Nelo? We're talking about rice cakes, so I didn't expect you to ask something like that. But I'm not really sure. I don't think I've ever even thought about it. Am I a jealous person or not? What do you think? Well, it's not like I have someone to get jealous over right now, so I have no idea. So, they're not defective, unfortunately. So, about the future. Is Jan still a manager? A manager? Oh, you mean for Chuchuya? I can't tell you any details about that. Thinking about the future, there's going to be various issues. But in the Age of Peace, Chuchuya still exists. In fact, it's expanded its operation gotten quite big. You can see Cannon dressed up as a maid once a week, so it's a lot more popular than Néo Francais. Néo Francais still exists? Yes, it does. Although, I find it strange that it still exists. Yes, it does, and it's as crowded as people as ever. So, I guess that's a sign of peace. I don't really want to admit it, but you might be right. But when she proposed adding a second floor and expanding, people around tried desperately to stop her. Regardless, it's true that the world is very peaceful and brimming with smiles. Well, that's good. So, what's Interdimen 1? Now then, you realize that you and Delta share perspectives, right? But Delta just doesn't seem to understand this at all. That's why I'd like to conduct a little test now. Could you help me? Help you how? Just talk like usual. However, while Delta isn't here, he should be hearing what we talk about subconsciously. If we get him to realize that, I'm sure he would understand Interdimen a little better. I see. That's a good idea. Right, anyway, let's begin. I might not be a fan like Cassie, but I don't dislike Nyoroki. However, I really feel like the knockoff doll I saw a little back, Nyaroki. It would be bad if Cass heard that. Yes, that's why I said it. I'm sure Delta would react almost immediately to an impactful conversation like this. Your shared perspective is subconscious, so ordinary conversation would fade away within days like normal memories. I think it'd be best if we said things that would normally make him panic or move him emotionally. Do you know of something besides this that would leave a strong impression on Delta? Well, Delta's idiocy would be good. I see. A conversation like this would trigger anger in Delta, leave a strong impact in his mind. But I refuse. It might be to teach him about Interdimen, but he'd definitely get mad if we talked about him like that. Although, if you didn't involve me and talked about him yourself, I wouldn't stop you. Anyway, this should be good enough. Now I just need to see how Delta reacts. You'll be able to watch too, so look forward to it. So that should unlock 4-3 for Delta. So it's your Warlike 2. I'd like to talk about you for a change of pace. Would you mind? What do you want to talk about? Anything is fine. Perhaps something about your world. The only thing I know is that you're a person from another world. I don't know what kind of world it is. I'd like you to make some comparisons to this world. So, there's no song magic. A world without song magic. So song magic isn't something that exists everywhere. There wasn't anything like song magic in my former world either. I remember being quite surprised when I came to this world and first witnessed song magic. The world you reside in might actually be very similar to the world I came from. Oh, that's a quick conversation. At level 5 unlocked, which do you prefer? By the way, your appearance changed because you were destroyed by Prim, right? What do you think? Do you prefer your new look or the old one? No, my look now is cooler. I feel the same way. The former rounded look was cute, but your look now leaves a sharp impression. I think it's very cool. But I'm surprised you were repaired so well after being so thoroughly broken. Well, there's lots of professionals with various knowledge around Dionysul, so I guess that's natural. If I think about what could have happened if you weren't fixed, I get really scared. If you really were destroyed back then, we never would have found such a peaceful future. This might sound strange coming from me, but I'm happy you were fixed. I'm sorry for destroying you. Say now if you want forgiveness. Nah, I'm better now. That's fine. Thank you. You really are a kind person. I can see the reason why Dionysul is so in love with you. Alright, checkmate. I don't know if we can gather the 7. Oh, so that's where you are now. You think Renal and Shirotaka are dead, so it's impossible to gather the 7. The Yanasol in the future told me all about this. Are you panicking because of that? Well, isn't this a dead end? I wonder if it is. I want to give you a little hint, but me in this time period already gave you plenty. I wonder if this is the same feeling as wanting to tell people who are reading a book about the ending. Anyway, regardless of the means, if you don't give up, there will be peace in the future. So do your best until that happens. If you give up, this world will end after all. Well, fortunately, we've already gathered the 7. That's an old topic. Alright, let's talk about Nay. I'm actually talking quite a lot with Nay in the future. She always comes to me, inviting me to visit for dinner from time to time. Also, she sometimes asks me to work part-time as a waitress. Nay's actually good at taking care of people. Yes, she can be a little forceful, but she's always very helpful. Regardless of my reasons, what I try to do in this world is simply unforgivable. Yet she still worries for me. There's something I realized after spending time with Nay, though. She's really bad with machines. The destructive power of her cooking hasn't changed in the future, but I realize that part of the reason for that is she's completely unable to use cooking devices properly. She doesn't use the oven or kitchen timers right. Yet she's making cathodes? It's only natural to be shocked. I was quite astounded when I first heard about that myself. She even said she has a really hard time trying to make up explanations for how they work. Apparently she only started giving them to you after she knew how they worked. She knew they worked. Although she doesn't understand why they're actually usable. But that doesn't change the fact that she's making them with all you in mind. So from now on, even if she gives you some certain machine-related items, try to accept them with a smile. Well, feelings are what's most important. Yes, that's best. Also, don't go telling people that Nay is bad with machines. It's a little late now, but I forgot to say that Nay actually wanted this to be kept a secret. Don't worry, we won't tell her. We've run out of conversations with her, we're good. Okay, power of the future. You met Prim and myself in this world at the Singing Hill, right? Prim seemed quite angry, didn't she? Saying it's unfair to use 2 channels of power from another world. Well, it's a legitimate strategy. If you said that in front of Prim, she'd probably get even more angry. Well, they're doing some crazy things, so I think something like this to counter is appropriate. You're having a lot of trouble even now, right? Well, children just cause trouble for adults. You seem somewhat stuck up today, but you're also a little cool. If you say things like that, you'd probably get popular among girls other than the Yanasol, although I think it's too late to start now. Besides, regardless, I think Prim and myself will still cause a lot of trouble for you. Don't give up. Never come up by working with the Yanasol. I know you can find a great future together by doing so. You know about RCL. By the way, there's something I've been needing to ask you. Did you know about a place called RCL before Delta and Cassidy went there? I know it well. I knew it. I had this feeling that you knew about the existence of RCL, but it doesn't seem like you lived there. Why would you know about it? Don't tell me you're intervening on that world too by using Inertia to Men. Well, yeah! I have saved it 3 times. I will say that right now. 3 times? Who exactly are you? The only thing we know about you is that you're a person from another world on the other side of Earth is. But you saved RCL 3 times. Now you're trying to save this world. It seems a renowned veteran hero is connected through Inertia to Men. I can fully understand why Prim would say this is unfair. And who leads your world? It seems Nay is supported by the people as Empress again. It would be best if the Nay in this world kept working hard too. Nay's working hard in the future? Oh drat, that's something I shouldn't talk about. Let's pretend you didn't hear that just now. Don't tell anyone else. But I didn't know she was bringing everyone together as one at present in this world. Now that I think about it, Nay might be the only one capable of doing so. You really need the ability to gain the support of the masses as a leader, and compassion for the people as well. Is it the same in your world? Do the leaders of your world prioritize the people, or not well supported? Not at all. We suffer every day. You see, it seems you're having a hard time. I'm surprised you're going through such hardship, yet you still work so hard to save another world. You really are a good person. May be difficult, but please do your best for the sake of this world. I will not go into detail about that, Nelo, but yeah, let's just say our leaders are garbage. Earth is. Come to think of it, do you know of a cathode in Starley shop with an extremely painful design? It has pictures all over it that it wouldn't want to show to children. In the future, those have become quite widespread and they're used in many places. What happened in the future? There's not really any sort of surprising reason. While that cathode has a questionable appearance, its performance is quite good, and it's reasonably priced. Once people realize this, its sales skyrocketed. However, because of that, you see that cathode everywhere you go, so it's a little troublesome. Seems like everyone's used it, but I just can't accept those pictures. I am sighing whenever I see it. So, everyone has things they can't handle. That makes me feel better. When I tried talking about this in the future, they called Shirotaka over for some reason. He said things like, "It's sad that you don't understand Moe. I'll teach you the greatness of Moe myself." Then he proceeded to lecture me for several hours about Moe. I get a headache just thinking about it. I'm really surprised something exists that I can't handle this much. Maybe I should ask Starley to change that design now while I still can. Alright. Level 7 unlocked. Don't have a partner. Just between you and me, in my future, Delta and Cassie are married. It happened about 2 years after things got peaceful. Oh, that's late. I thought so too. Everyone thought so. Then he finally snapped and told them to stop half-assing their relationship, and they finally got married. At least in my future. Anyway, those two got married and I attended the ceremony, but the souvenirs for the events were couple bowls. Apparently they chose them as convenient items that married and unmarried people could use, but it actually makes me feel a little lonely using while single. Well, it would be nice if you found someone. I think so too, but I'm really happy with my life now. I don't feel any need to rush out and find someone. Maybe it's a problem to be too happy? Okay, I'm actually going to save that one for the end. Make a decision. Do you love Yanasal? Well, I love her. Isn't this a little late? Yes, but I just want to have a final confirmation. You're connected to this world by interdimen, but you know this won't last forever, right? Your connection to this world will end eventually, and you'll have to be separated from Yanasal. You realize that, right? Well, I try not to think about it, but I do. I see, so you understand. I shouldn't say this, but I'll make an exception. That time is coming soon. It will be soon. Once the final battle is over, the connection to your world will be severed. Once that happens, you'll have to say farewell to Yanasal. Even I don't know if you'll ever meet again. You realize that as well, right? Well, I'm prepared. You're very strong. In that case, this might just sound like I'm meddling, but I want you to cherish the little time you have left with Yanasal. Yanasal treasures the time she spends with you, just like you treasure your time with her. That's why until the last moment your world is connected, I want you to treasure your time together. That's all I wanted to tell you. Make it so even after you've gone your separate ways, Yanasal can cherish the time you spent together forever. Are you worried? And Yanasal's a very important friend to me in our peaceful world. I don't want to see her sad. I don't mind if you reduce the time you spent with me to do that. You need to treasure your time with Yanasal. Alright, time to say goodbye. It's almost time for everything to end. I need to prepare to return to my own time period. Well, yeah, you can't stay here forever. Yes, besides, it's not a very good thing to come to the past and talk to people about the future. I know Delta and Yanasal and everyone is in my time period, but it's still a little sad to part from them here. But you're even more sad, aren't you? Your connection to this world will be severed, and you won't be able to contact anyone here. No, all meetings have farewells. You've got a pretty dry personality. Well, end of that conversation. Alright, possible love. We haven't been talking for that long, but I feel like we've talked about quite a lot of things. I know I asked you out of the blue. Thanks for making so much time for me. Yeah, it's fun for me. I'm the one having lots of fun. I'd like to talk more about your world if we get a chance. But I really want to talk with you more about the future. I want to talk what Delta, Cassie, and Yanasal are doing in this peaceful world. I want to tell you how the world has changed. I know it's bad to talk about the future, but you don't actually get to see what happens. But I don't have any proof that this world will find the same peaceful future as my own time period. In fact, it's possible that this world will find an even more happy future than my own. The future I came from could simply be a parallel world with a much different history. If I think about that, the future I've been talking about could have absolutely zero relation to this world. How are things looking so far? At present, the course of events should be the same as the past in my world, but I had been captured by the maternal overseer in this time period, so I only know it from what Delta and Yanasal said. You never know what could cause a change in the future, so I still can't be certain. But to be honest, I want this world to find an even happier future than the one I came from. You need to create a planet so that Delta, Cassie, Yanasal, and everyone can live happily there, including Prim. I hope that a day like that will come to this world. I don't need to be there? I want you to be there. In fact, I want you to be there in my future too. I actually really like you, you know? We're both people who aren't from this world. I like being able to talk to you without restraint. I wonder if this can be considered a confession. Alright, we'll get those last two. Okay, back with Delta. Zapping back to him after seeing What's in Your Dimen 1, open What's in Your Dimen 2. And I picked up that other talk topic with Earth as his side. So we'll be able to finish up with Nelo. By the way, Delta, I heard a doll called Nyaroki is pretty popular. I don't know if it's popular, but I know you like that doll. Seriously, give me a break. If Cass heard us talking about this, we wouldn't get off lightly, you know? She really hates Nyaroki after all. What? Delta, I've never talked to you about Nyaroki before. Huh? Wait, what? Now that you mention it, I don't think I ever talked with you about it either. But wait, you said before that you like Nyaroki more than Nyaroki. I said that, but that was when I was talking to Earthez. Yet you know something about this. Sounds like you were listening subconsciously through Interdiment. Are you serious? First time I told you about Interdiment, you acted like you didn't believe it at all. That's why I put it to the test. I had Earthez help too. Maybe you could be a little thankful. You involved him in this too? Well, we're sharing perspectives, so I guess it's only natural we'd have to work together. Pretty much. Although that doesn't mean you share everything. This subject was indirectly related to Cassie, so you must have subconsciously thought it was important. I'm glad this was settled more easily than I thought it would be. I understand how this works, but kind of creepy. This feeling of knowing things that I shouldn't for some reason. But if you look at it from a different angle, it's convenient, right? That's true, but what is this feeling? I feel as though you talked about something else back then. Hey, Nello, did Earth say anything strange to you? That's not something that needs to be shared, so don't worry about it. You say that, but I'm curious. This is exactly what's inconvenient and creepy about an intermend. And we're done. Oh, now I see the message. And the final one with Nello with Earth is. So what's your world like? 3. I know I asked about your world before, but I want to talk about it again. This time, let's see. Could you tell me about the city where you live? Well, I live in the countryside. In the countryside, so you're living in a lovely place. If I had to choose, I'd say I prefer rural areas to the city. I want to try living a quiet life in a place surrounded by trees and plants. The world I lived in before, Rossiella and the Soleil, are all pretty far from a quiet atmosphere. That's why I yearn for such a thing. I was trying to talk about you, but I ended up talking about myself. But maybe this is good once in a while. It's not very fair if I'm always the one asking about you. Tell me about your world. I'm happy you want to know, but I can't really talk about it. Well, it's not that I can't talk about it. I just don't really want to talk about it. I made amends with Delta and everyone, and live in a peaceful world now. But that doesn't mean my feelings of wanting to return to my original world have disappeared completely. I'll never know if I'll start thinking I'll do anything to get back again, so I don't want to talk about my world. I'm sorry this sounds selfish, but I'd be happy if you understood. Don't worry. We're done.